Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we're going to be talking about the gripper. So I ended up purchasing two of these Grrr GR200 models, and I put one together last night. And what I'd like to do in this video today is go through the unboxing and the assembly of the second unit to show you guys out there exactly how these things go together. So what I've got here to start off with is I've got this advanced model of the Grrr. This is the the GR200 model, and there's also the 100 available. I went with the 200 because I could. So this is the GR200. I also picked up, because it suits some of the work that I do, the Grrr 1/8 of an inch leg for cutting 1/8 inch strips. I also picked up this handle bridge kit, and this allows you to angle your handle on the top. And of course, this one piece here is a template in order to be able to give like a foot at the back of your Grrr for pushing stock through for different applications. And I also picked up a little hard to see because it's kind of a yellowy plexi, but I picked up this Deflector Connector because I have two of these GR200 models. Now, I put one together last night, as I said, and I'm going to go through the process here right from the box. I haven't opened this one yet, but let me just tell you, all instructions say to check your parts to make sure that it's all there. Do that for these guys, because on the one I did last night, there was absolutely zero extra parts. What you saw was what you got, and better safe than sorry. Check it out and make sure that everything that you need is in this box. The first thing you want to do is you want to grab yourself a Phillips screwdriver, and this is the only tool that you're going to require in order to assemble the Grrr. But the first thing you'll notice as soon as you open it up, this thing is packed tight in here, and I mean tight. I better hope that I never have to return it, because I'll never get this in this tiny little box. And inside the box, of course, is your manual, and it comes with a DVD to watch for demonstrations and whatever. I watched it last night. It's up to you if you want to watch it. And then, of course, inside is your parts. So let's get all these parts out of the box, and let's see what we're looking at. Well, aside from the hardware, this is pretty much all of our parts here. This, of course, is an extra accessory that I purchased, but you've got your stabilizing plate, you've got your 1/4 inch sidewall, you've got your 1/2 inch sidewall, you've got your extra stabilizer and leveler, you get your leveling foot, your main body, and then of course your handle. And I'll be showing you the assembly here with the extra kit. So the first thing you want to do is you want to be able to assemble the pieces of your handle. Now, I'm not going to get into the sizing of these bolts and that sort of thing. If you guys want the technical stuff of it, if you get one, read your manual. I'm just showing you the method here. So you want to start off with these bolts here, put it through with your half length machine nut here, and just spin it on like that, just loosely on there, and you can see that how it's on there. You want to do 4 of these. One here, 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 and here. So go ahead and do that. Once you have that done, you should have something that looks like this, with your little nuts on the back there. And what you want to do now is you want to attach your handle to each one of these bridge pieces. So you'll get the appropriate hardware from your box and get a washer on there and drop one nut down through one bolt through each end of the handle. Now at this point, you can either use the supplied nut with the 200 jig, or you can use the square nut from the bridge assembly kit. And I actually kind of prefer this square nut. It seemed to give me a better connection. So bottom line here is this goes down through the handle. You put your nut in there and then tighten it up. Now don't crank it, just keep everything loose at this point in time. And so do that for both sides. And once you get that done, of course, you should have an assembly that looks something like this. Now it's time to put this on the main body. So these two brass inserts here, and there's the same on the other side, you want to make sure that they point to the ends of the handles out this way, and you want to insert this whole assembly into the main body of the gripper. But when you do that, you want to make sure that these nuts are in this configuration so that the short side is facing to the out and the long side is facing to the inside. And all this does here is just slide right in here like that and like that, center it on your main body, and then tighten it down. Well, we've now got the bridge assemblies onto the main body, and the handle is still loose, but at this point in time now, you can go ahead and tighten that handle down, and it doesn't matter what kind of configuration you have. If you have it skewed like that, to the middle, to the left, to the right, skewed the other way, it doesn't matter at this point in time. Just tighten it on there so it's not knocking all over the place. The next step, now that we have our handle on here, is that we want to get our hardware installed on the legs of our jig. So this holds true now for all of the leg parts. So I'm just going to show you the one, and then you can do the rest on your own here. So a washer goes into the large recess hole, one of the appropriate bolts goes in, and then hold your finger there just like that and flip it over. And when you get it flipped over, a little O-ring that they supply goes over top of that screw. Now you want to take that O-ring and push it right down so that it seats into that recess, and that's kind of a keeper to prevent your bolts from falling out. So go ahead and do all of them. You should have 4 on these legs. Go ahead and do them all. Well, we've got all the hardware installed in the 1/4 inch leg and the 1/2 inch leg, and I'll give you a close-up there. You can see the black retaining O-ring in there, and on this side the head of the bolt with the washer. So for now, just put those off to the side, and you want to get your center leg, and this will be the next part that we're going to install on the body. And you want to get, for starters, these little green knobs, and get yourself a washer, again of the appropriate size. Check your hardware listing, put a washer on them, and then put them through your leg just like this. And then you want to get another one of these little T-nuts here, like what you did earlier, and then just loosely spin it on just like that. And you want to do that for both sides. Both sides of the hardware are on, and now just as before, it's just a simple process of lining it up with the grooves and the slots, etc., and sliding it into place. You can see that there now, it's slid in. It glides quite nicely into these tracks here, and from there, just tighten up your hardware. Once you get it tightened up, then you're good to move on to the next step. I just want to point out that this is kind of a glass reinforced resin. Don't crank on this. The steel of your tools and whatnot is a lot stronger than what this stuff will ever be. There's no need to crank it. That's secure, just finger tight. Well, we've got the center foot on, and now it's time to take our outside legs here that we put our hardware into, and the kit doesn't get any more simple than this. You just sit it over top, lining things up, and then screw these screws into the brass inserts that are here already on the unit. So put one on each side, and it doesn't matter what side you put them on. You can put the 1/4 inch on the left or the 1/4 inch on the right. It doesn't matter, and the reason for that is that this jig is 100% reversible. So put it on whatever side, 1/2 inch on one and the 1/4 inch on the other. The next thing you want to do is work on your leveling foot. So the same way that you did the legs with the retaining O-ring, you want to get one of these little knobs. It'll be the black one. Put a washer on it, just like that. Go through your slotted groove here, and then on the back side, get one more O-ring, slide it over top, just like that, and then push it all the way down so that it sits in the recess at the back of that. So do that for both sides. Both of the knobs for the hardware are both in place with the retaining O-ring, and now it's just a matter of lining it up with the brass inserts either on the 1/2 inch side or, like I said, where it's reversible, on the 1/4 inch side, and just screwing it into place. And you can just do it finger tight, like I said. Actually, you know what, I think I'd rather have it on the 1/2 inch side, so I'll turn it over, and 1/2 inch side, just like that. And then from there, just to keep from wiggling it around, we'll sit it there on the bench and just tighten these knobs in just to get it nice and snug. Well, now we've got the leveling plate to deal with, and you can see here this has the larger recess groove here. There is no recess on the groove on this side, but what you want to do is take one of your T-bolts here, slide it down through there so it sits in that groove, support it, flip it over, take one of the orange O-rings that comes in your kit and slide this all the way down to the bottom. And once you get that slid in there so that it retains your T-bolt, then you've got one of these collar washers. I don't know if you can see that there, but you want to put it with the collar up, kind of just like that, and slide it all the way down. Can you see that there? Once you get that done, spin on one of these little handles. So do that for both slots. Well, once you get that hardware put on, it's as simple as those collar washers. I don't know if you can see that, but they just slide into these grooves here that are on your leveling foot. And then from there, that whole assembly, of course, just tightens up. So I'll just tighten up these originals here, and then we'll just tighten up this knob here, and then this one here, and that will securely hold it in place. As I said earlier, with the handle bridge kit, it comes with this little foot plate. This is a template, but what you want to do here in this case is just slide the T-bolt that's supplied with it through, and then the supplied washer over the end, and then of course this little knob to tighten it up. And once you get this threaded on, this whole assembly, it's just as simple as it slides into this little slot here at the back of the gripper. You can see that little slot right here. It slides in, and then you would tighten down this knob here to keep it in place. I should have really had that handle on there a little more securely, but there you go. It's in place there now. And like I said, this is a template. I see some guys on the web cutting through this. I don't agree with that. You can make your own out of 1/4 inch MDF or whatever, but anyway, that's installed now just so I don't lose it for the time being. The last thing here to do on this particular unit, which is the GR200, is you've got this extra leveling foot. So just like what you did earlier, you need to take the provided knob hardware and put a washer over it, and then put it through the slot, and on the side with the little recess in it, get yourself an O-ring and put it on there to help retain that knob. So do that on both sides. And once you have the hardware installed, as I have here, you basically put it on the side of your jig here, on the opposite side of your other leveling foot, and it's up to you if you want to put it sticky side up or sticky side down. If you want it for extra grip, it's sticky side down. If you want it for extra leveling, it's sticky side up. So for now, for my liking, I'm just going to put it with the sticky side down to get some extra grip when pushing things through the saw. So we'll just go ahead and tighten that in place. As far as the GR200 goes, that's it. It's assembled. You're done with that. But if you went ahead like I did and purchased the 1/8 of an inch leg, now what you need to do is, again, bolt, washer, and then a retaining O-ring at the back of it. But there's 4 holes here, and those 4 holes are for different configurations as to how you think that this leg will best suit you. I'm not going to tell you what holes to put it in. You need to read the manual on this and decide what configuration suits you best. But if you bought this leg, that's really all you need to do after that. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on mine, and if you got it, you can do it on yours. And there you have it. The gripper, the assembly of anyway. Guys, the initial purpose of this video was to be an introduction to a review. But unfortunately, or fortunately, for those of you who wanted the instructional video there, what happened was the assembly ended up to be such a long video that I decided to make that an entity all to its own. So, truth be told, again, what do I know about these grippers? Absolutely nothing. And it's for that reason that I intend to play with these for a couple months. All my old push pads and push sticks and what have you throughout the shop, I'm going to put them off to the side, and where it's at all possible, I'm going to use the grippers exclusively. And in a couple months, you're going to see me coming back again with these two guys in hand, and I'll give you an educated opinion of exactly what I think of the grippers. So for now, we're going to leave it at that. I hope this assembly video has helped some of you, and I'm going to see you guys in a couple months with the review of the Grrr GR200s. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you again next week with yet another woodworking video.